What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab. It's me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you mid-game. I'm just about to kick this guy's ass, I hope. Fingers crossed. It's looking good. But tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with some Azorius control shenanigans. And boy, am I having fun with this one. It's been a while since Azorius was any good, in my opinion. We haven't had like a typical Azorius flyers list that was popular during Theros with the Dream Trawler. There were so many bird flying things that were white and blue, and like it was really clear that they were pushing the sort of flying thing. Now it's definitely a lot more of a control-y package. We've got Teferi, the new Teferi, which just does so many good things for the deck, and Mordenkainen seems to have found a really good home in this one. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with this brew. I had a real good time, let's be honest, getting through all of the werewolf tribal shenanigans over the last couple of days, but it was getting a little tedious, and I'm happy to say that I am on a control bend now, and I wanna play control decks, and this is probably one of the better ones in the format right now. So here we go. I just did a little adjustment there. I hope you guys noticed, and I'll explain why in a second. So, Azorius Control, a deck I'm calling TeferDenkainen, because we're running two Mordenkainens, 3 Teferis. It's been good, man. This is a crazy list. So I'm gonna do my usual. Dive into the deck tech. We will describe the deck from left to right, read the important new cards that we haven't sort of seen yet, and then I'm going to try and explain what it is that we're trying to do with the thing, and what our win cons are, how it is that we're going to get there, and then we're going to jump into some gameplay footage as usual, and then wrap up at the end with our final thoughts and discuss potential changes, upgrades, and see where the deck can go in the future. But yeah, so without further ado, here is TeferDenkainen. First up, Portable Hall. There's so many good 2-drops in this format, like ridiculous. All of the classes. The Luminarch Aspirant, 1 and 2 drops, like the 2 best decks in the format right now that are like ruling the roost clearly, are mono white aggro and mono green, and to a certain extent there's some gruel werewolves scattered here and there, playing quite a lot less control than usual. I think the control decks are still sort of just trying to figure out where it is that they're supposed to be, what it is that they're supposed to be controlling and how the best way to do that is. And I think Portable Hall is one of the key cards in that plan for sure, because like I said, you're going to get rid of the Werewolf Pack Leader, the Luminarch Aspirant, all of the classes, you name it. There's so many good 1 and 2 drops right now that like already you almost feel under pressure from turn 1. The opponent just plays a Monk of the Open Hand on turn 1, and you're already going, oh god, if you've got a nice, cheap, easy way to get rid of those things on turn 1 and turn 2, that it's really, really nice. So Portable Hall, 3 of in the deck. I think it's pretty crucial little card, and the cool thing is that it's Portable Hall is the little brother of Borrowed Time, which is the replacement for Banishing Light. It behaves in the exact same way with much better art, in my opinion. I really love the art on this card. Borrowed Time. Teferi stepped calmly into the fray. Suddenly the sun paused in the sky, and the werewolves' snarl froze on their faces. It's such cool flavor. It fits the set, and it behaves exactly in the same way as Banishing Light does. It costs the same. It's in the same colors. 2 colorless and 1 white for an enchantment that when it ETBs you can exile any target non-land permanent until Borrowed Time leaves the battlefield. So between these two we're doing pretty much similar things. It's really nice to also target like annoying tokens, like the Renin 7 freaking 5/5 reach tree folk thing that comes into play. Poof, exiled. Even if they have enchantment removal, they're not getting that token back. So I've tried to tailor this deck to beat those decks. Okay, so right now Renin 7 with the cat oven is just all over the place. Like I said, mono white, mono green. So like, how are we gonna do that? Well, borrowed time is like, save it in your hand mostly to if you don't have a counter up, to get rid of the Esika's Chariot, or like I said, those tokens that it makes, so that the chariot cannot be crewed. Next up, 3 copies Fateful Absence. It's nice to have some targeted removal in these colors. 2 mana, 1 and a white, destroy target creature or planeswalker, instant speed. Unfortunately, its controller investigates. This can sometimes be used to save one of your creatures being removed. Let's say you have a dog illusion from Mordenkainen, or an Imrith, or that is for whatever reason untapped and does not have the ward up. Then the opponent goes to kill it. You can kill your own creature instead, and instead of giving the opponent the clue token, you give it to yourself. But most of the time we're saving this again for Ren and 7 and any other annoying creatures that we need to get rid of at instant speed. And if we end up giving the opponent the clue, then so be it. It's a little bit annoying, of course, like it would never just give white direct removal like that, breaking the color pie completely, because it is a thing that is usually for black and red, so they had to give it a little bit of a downside to fit the color pie. So the opponent gets to draw a card if you remove his thing, which is a little bit frustrating. But anyway, onwards. 2 copies Test of Talents. Here's our little removal package. Okay, 2 copies Test of Talents. I'm trying out Dissipate, and then Sword Coming. So 6 counters total. It's been working pretty nice. Like, you get them when you need them most of the time. Next up, Borrowed Time, we've already talked about. Dissipate, Sword Coming, we've already talked about. So basically, the difference between Sword Coming, well, first of all, you can foretell it and cast it for 2, which is really cool, especially if you don't have the 2 blue mana to cast it. But Dissipate, the creature that gets countered, gets exiled instead of being put into its owner's graveyard. So with all the graveyard shenanigans, I thought it might be cool to just test it out and see whether it's better to run than Sword Coming. I still think Sword Coming is probably the better counter spell, just because of that ability to be able to cast it for 2 after it is foretold. And it also puts that little doubt in the opponent's mind. Like, he never knows. Once it's foretold there, I've experienced it on the receiving end. It's like, is that an Alrund's Epiphany? Is that a Doomskar? Is that a glimpse into the universe or whatever? Is this a Sword Coming? Once you've put that foretold card there in exile, it sort of puts the opponent in a situation where they need to guess and play around it. And then you can cast it for just 2, which makes it a lot better. But the fact that Dissipate exiles could be quite crucial in the coming format, so just keep your eye on this one. I think it might be pretty good. Next up, we have some artifacts, and I'll explain why in a second. I think most of you have probably already watched, all the good streamers that have a bigger following than me, or content creators such as CGB and even Malone put up a list like this. Also, GigX did something similar already. Basically, the new Teferi has 3 abilities. The first one is the one we'll be using most of. You can +1, and you can choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. You untap the chosen permanents you control, and you tap the chosen permanents you don't control. You gain 2 life, which is also really, really sweet that they stapled that on the end there. Like, that's a lot of stuff to do for one, +1 loyalty. So basically, we can, tap, for example, the Skyclave Relic, put some mana in the pool, +1 the Teferi, untap it again, tap the Skyclave Relic again. So you can get double mana off of the Relic from one Teferi +1. And initially I was running 4 relics, but I thought it would be interesting to test out the Stadium. Every time you tap it, and you don't need to pay to tap it, there's no cost or anything involved. It is a mana rock anyway as well. The Skyclave Relic does add 1 mana of any color. The Stadium only adds 1 colorless. But if you can, tap this twice every turn, you might be able to get to the 10 counters on it faster than usual. So who knows? That's a sneaky little hidden win con in the deck, with the Teferis +1 being able to tap the Strixhaven Stadium twice per turn. Also, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to opponent, you put a point counter on Strixhaven. So you can imagine Alrund's Epiphany's birds going in, Imrith Desert. So whenever a creature you control, so if it's, let's say a few different creatures get in, we've got Imrith, we've got the illusions from Mordenkainen, we've got the birds from Alrund's Epiphany, and we've got Hall of the Storm Giants in the mana base. You could potentially be putting quite a bit of counters on there, and then if you... the thing with Teferi is that you need to remember, unless you need to use the +1 to ramp into another spell that you want to cast before your combat phase, it's better to always +1 after combat. Do your attack, do your things, and then just before the game ends, your turn ends, +1 and do all the untapping. And I'll explain a little bit more about why that is again later. But in this case, with regards to Strixhaven Stadium, you get in for your damage, put some counters on Strixhaven Stadium, then untap it, tap it again, put another counter on it. We could potentially get this up to 10 quite quickly if we wait for the right moment to bring it into play. Next up, Memory Deluge. I think I should probably be running 4. I'm just not entirely sure what I could trim to make it work. But it is the only card draw spell we have in the deck, except for also a couple of copies of Gates of Istfell, which can be sacrificed for 5 mana, unfortunately, but then you gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. So we do have a little bit of card draw, and then of course when the Imrith gets in for combat damage, you can draw a card, and if you have fewer than 3 cards in hand, you can draw cards equal to the difference. So if you've got no cards in hand, you get in with the Imrith and you draw 3 cards. So there's a little bit of card draw, and of course Teferi's -2, which we didn't finish reading the card. -2, you can look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into the bottom of your library in any order. Pretty sweet, actually. Of course, Mordenkainen's +2 also draws 2 cards, and the cool thing is the cards that Mordenkainen discards don't end up in your graveyard, they end up in the bottom of your library. So you're not wasting cards, you're just putting the ones you don't want back into your library, and then it might just get shuffled again later by one of the other things, which will then make it so that the ones that you put on the bottom will end up randomly inside the deck somewhere, which is pretty sweet. We've got quite a few ways of and then shuffles, namely Field of Ruin, which I'm now decided I'm going to be running 2 of in every single one of my decks, period. It is that good. There's so many creature lands, everybody is running them. Also the occasional Facebook combo with the Faceless Haven and the Book of Exalted Deeds. Field of Ruin takes care of that. I think everybody should be running 1/2 copies in every single deck that they play from now on, at least until the meta sort of adapts to Field of Ruin, and then we'll see what happens. But there's so, even Hall of the Storm Giants, while it's still a land, get rid of it with Field of Ruin. But then, at the end of Field of Ruin it says each player searches their library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield, then shuffles. So the cards that you would have put in the bottom of your library with Mordenkainen end up, or Memory Deluge, or end up getting shuffled back into the deck if you did maybe need them sooner than right at the end of your deck. Next up, the -7 from Teferi gives you an emblem. It can be actually reached pretty quickly. You only need to do this 3 times. You only need a plus Teferi 3 times. Finally, you can get off an emblem that says that you untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step. That's insane. And you draw a card during each opponent's draw step. So, you know, like every time the opponent untaps, you also untap all your lands. And not all your permanents. And you get to draw a card whenever he draws a card. So then you've got all, you know, you're always going to have the mana for counter spells. It's really, really sweet. I'm going to build a more... It's just hard to find a good win con right now in control decks. Like, especially ones that run sweepers that also hit your planeswalkers. Because usually win cons have been like planeswalkers in control decks, or like, you know, now there's some decks that are just like playing pure control and some man lands, you know, Hall of Storm Giants, and just win that way, or the no win con decks that CGB likes, where you're just playing Dimir and stealing the opponent's win cons with his, you know, with there's plenty of cards now that steal cards from the opponent's deck, but yeah. We're gonna be testing lots of different control decks over the next couple of days. So if you're into that sort of thing, keep your eyes on the channel, because I'm gonna keep them coming your way every single day as promised. Fresh brews daily. Next up, Doomskar. All the aggro decks, you know, mono white, mono green, they need to be Doomskar. Turn 3 Doomskar is just super duper good against mono white. Turn 5, you know, Doomskar is also really, really good. Like it saved my ass more times than I can tell you. So 4 copies of Doomskar essential. I could never trim this down to 3 or anything else, because we want to get this every single time. There's so much mono white and mono green on the ladder right now that it's just it's been saving my ass. Then Imrith, another little bit of synergy here. Imrith has ward 4 as long as it's untapped. So you can attack with Imrith, get in your damage, then +1 Teferi and untap it. So you got your ward again, and you can block again with it. So really, really cool little synergy there. Like the problem with Imrith is always like you play it and then it doesn't attack, and you just leave it there. And you leave it there, it's mostly a blocker, because you know that if you attack, then your opponent's going to get it with instant speed removal. Oh, because you lose the ward 4, the ability to tap it again at your end step with Teferi, so that it regains ward 4 before your opponent gets to untap, is mwah, 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 mwah. So 2 of, nice flyer, card draw we've already talked about. It's just, I love this card. It's a house, and I wish it saw more play. Unfortunately, it's on the exact same point on the curve as Goldspan Dragon, and so that sees a lot more play than Imrith. It is just better Goldspan, of course, but this is also a really, really good dragon. Next up, couple copies Mordenkainen. Draw 2 cards, then put a card from the we've already talked about the +2. But what we're really trying to do here is make big dogs and attack. You know, get multiple turns, maybe with an Alrund's Epiphany. Draw cards with Memory Deluge, so that so maybe turn 6 you play Mordenkainen -2, make an illusion. Turn 7 you play Alrund's Epiphany. You attack. Then it's your turn again. You +2. Now you put 2 cards into your hand. The dog gets bigger. Then you maybe cast the Memory Deluge. The dog gets huge. You attack again. The opponent's dead. That's kind of the game plan here. I mean, it's either going to be dog illusions, Hall of the Storm Giants, little birdies, maybe an Imrith, and maybe the Strixhaven Stadium. And we're just trying to make sure that the opponent has nothing to play with or attack us with all of the early removal and counter spells, so that we can actually get to that point. So that's the deck. Yeah, mana base we've already talked about quite extensively. A couple copies of Hall of the Storm Giants as another alternate win con. A little bit of card draw with the Gates of Istfell. We're running 4 pathways, 4 of the new Deserted Beach. Love these new lands cycle. It's so good. Comes into play, you know, a dual land that comes into play untapped on turn 3 or onwards is just phenomenal. As long as you've got 2 other lands in play, it comes into play untapped, and that's just great. And then 2 copies of Field of Ruins. That's the deck. Let's jump into some games. Now, at this point in the stream, as usual, I would like to kindly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. I'm so close to 200. Today I'm sitting on 169. Nice. And I want to break 200 by the end of the month, so please help me get there. And I'm also triggering a giveaway when we do hit 200. So if you want to be part of that, there's a video link in the description of this video that will take you to a video where I explain all of the information about the giveaway. And yeah, I'd like to. It'll trigger once I reach 200 subs. Let's try get there by the end of the month, please. And of course, do all the other good stuff if you can. You know, like the video, leave a comment down below, and if you do want to be notified of future uploads and streams, just I'll leave that. Leave a like. Sorry, hit the bell icon. Sorry, I was getting distracted there. I'm gonna let him deal me a little bit of damage. I'd rather keep up a counter. I have a feeling there's something coming that I'm not gonna like here. Yeah. It's a lot of damage. Now we have to definitely do the Doomskar. Can foretell Alrund and cast it next turn.
I would run if I were you.
Mono white, huh? It's probably the top end of their curve. Legion Angel. A bad feeling about this one.
Your tiny mind couldn't possibly grasp my
It's not going to leave enough mana for the counter. We're going to lose this Mordenkainen, but that's okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. No more Legion Angels for you. Okay, keeps going for face. Where's Imrith when you need him, huh?
The entire multiverse is mine.
Sometimes I wonder what I did to deserve this. Good game. Alrighty, next up. Game 2. We took a loss. Come on, Teferi. TeferDenkainen. Do your thing. Good to have you guys. Billy, Moon, welcome to the stream. Happy to hear, happy to have you. And yeah, it seems like Moonwatcher, if I can be on at this time, then you'll either be able to catch me while at work, or at the least, because I've been streaming 1 hour later than usual the last couple days, and you're never on, and I'm assuming that's because you're on your way home from work or something like that. What a bollocks hand. Mulligan that one, 100% guaranteed. Rakdos. Lane. We need a white source. Big time. Oh god, here we go again. Every time on stream, huh? Opponent. Probably deciding whether he wants to deadly dispute the treasure token away. Yeah. Yeah. And that's my time. Oh baby, that feels good. Oh baby, that feels so good. Bye bye. White sauce. What the fuck, guys? This has been happening way too often lately. I don't know what's going on. Now we can't. Well, we can do this. Chips. This white port. Okay, that's a gold span next turn. So let's keep up the Dissipate. If he goes for the I must remember this cannot be counted. That's a disaster. But it can be killed. What is with this mana problem, guys? Wow. Unbelievable. It'd be nice to dissipate the gold span because it's can't be blood on the snow back. Off you go. Bye-bye. Please come again. Okay. He might have another gold span. Okay. Can you imagine? We're stuck on 4 lands for this long. It's mind-boggling. Okay. Just taking like 1 damage a turn like this is starting to take its toll, but that's typical control deck problems. You need to be comfortable with going very low and then sort of turning it around at some point when you finally control the battlefield. Ooh, cookies and milk. Choc chip cookies and milk. How's your human deck performing, Billy, if I may ask? Yeah. Bye-bye, Tybalt. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Seems like I pissed the opponent off a little bit. Terribly sorry, my dear fellow. You need a top decker land, like, so badly. Ay, ay, ay. now. Thank you. If he's got another one, we're screwed. He's digging for that gold span. Please no gold span, please no gold span. Come on. Okay, I twitch. I twitch. I twitch. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Mascot exhibition is on the way. I think it's raining. Whoa, hamburger. What I would do for a hamburger. Better being peed off than peed on. I couldn't agree more. Okay, he's crying instead, by the looks of things. 3, 4. He's hoping maybe to get like an Imrith Predator. Gain 2 life there. We've got 6 counters on the stadium, and if he does have a gold span, we don't die yet. Four more counters on the stadium. Woo. Come on, baby. We got this. Oh, okay. Fine, be that way. Oh god, he's got the den. We need to get one of our Field of Ruins quickly. That's bad. That's very bad. I think we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Did not get the card we needed when we needed it, unfortunately. Nothing's gonna save us. Bugger. Alright, on to the next one. 2 losses. Mana really bugged us over on that one. That was a huge problem. It was actually working better before I made those little adjustments. How many lands have we got? 24. Let's just give it one more whirl. I'm hoping to like make up, in a control deck. CGB runs like 25, 26 sometimes, and also with MDFCs, to make sure we get those drops, because it's so essential in a control deck. And I thought I'd make up for that with the mana rocks, the artifacts. Okay, free win, I'll take it. I wonder why. Oh. Cool. We're looking at Disturb. Could be something there. Sort of unexplored space. No one's really been doing that I've seen. One or two of in the mono white list. That's about it. It could be a pretty cool Esper Spirits list lurking in the wings. I'm going to be looking at that tomorrow. Esper control with some spirits, Kaya. There's a new Spirit Lord that gives all spirits +1/+1. We've already got some really good spirits in standard. Might even be, we could even play Jeskai and put in Hoffrey Yano. Okay, if we top deck a land, it might be okay. Birdies. Man, come on, man. Come on. We are getting out-mannered by a freaking mono-white aggro deck every time this happens. Jesus Christ. What the heck, man? We're dead. Unbelievable, guys. This just keeps happening to me. We need to go up in lands. It's the only way. I just don't know what to cut. What would you guys cut? I'm open to suggestions. I'm gonna put in one more white. Just run 61 cards. Fuck it. I'm okay with running 61, especially if the extra one is a land. Ha! This guy's nickname is Rincewind. Have any of you read the what's his name? My favorite author, Terry Pratchett. There's a character in there that's a wizard. His name's Rincewind. Such a good book. Landfall. Playing a Cosmos Elixir for card draw. Interesting. God, that feels good. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, gives it haste, attacks. Highly likely. Is he gonna go for Teferi or for face? That's the question. Okay.
Is that what they're calling an attack these days? Don't worry.
6. Look at this. Gruul. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. How many lands do you guys run in your decks? How many lands do you guys run in your decks? Your lands are fine. Turn 1 Snow Duel, turn 2 Man Land, turn 3 Untap Land. Imagine.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
Jesus Christ. What is this? Do we lose 8 points or 1 point? Okay, 1. Super weird list. Goblins, landfall, Ren. What are you trying to do? Bye bye. And it's like a 70 card deck. He's got the veil. He can protect the spirit. Fuck my life. What the heck, man? Unbelievable how bad we're doing on stream so far. Just terrible, terrible. No memory deluges. Hardly any card draw. Opponents just seems to be like getting everything he needs whenever he needs it. I'm getting nothing. He's got this Cosmos Elixir just restocking his hand the entire time. There's the deluge. Better late than never. Yes, play more creatures. More. No. Damn it. At least he doesn't have any creature lands. Oh god, no. Not like this. We're dead. Wow. If you guys knew the day I've had today, you would just come and give me a hug and roll me a spliff or something. Yeah. I was sitting on Diamond 2 this afternoon. Just bad luck. Like, not bad plays. I'm not a bad player. I've been playing this game for freaking long. I know what I'm doing. Okay. It's just sometimes the gods are against you. Non-stop horrible land issues and you name it. Okay, again with the Kalane stuff. At least Rakdos doesn't have enchantment interaction, so they do have artifact. They can get rid of artifacts in Rakdos, but they hardly ever run that. Got an answer to your Imstrom, my dear fellow. Whenever it is that you do eventually cast it. Again with the no lands. Insane. Gast land Imstrom. Nice. Come on, give me the land. Please, land. Yes! Nice. Muck Lemaster. Another predator. Sorry, buddy. You got nothing to make it indestructible with. Nice Imrith off the top. Just get a bloody land one of these days would be pretty sweet. Seems like the opponent's pretty strapped for lands as well. Red, red. There we go, baby. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Digging for the gold spans. One of my storm giants gone. Okay, that's beautiful. Bye-bye. Deadly Dispute as well, again? No. Looks like we might just do this one this time round. He's looking to kill the Imrith, which is a little bit frustrating, but alright. Okay. Nice. You got a sacrifice outlet for that? No. You're just gonna attack me? I'm okay with that. Or maybe he does have a dispute. No, he didn't leave himself any black. That's beautiful. There's nothing in red for this much mana that's going to be able to kill the Desert Doom. As far as I know. Necrotic Fumes, maybe. Got him. I think. He's probably gonna Field of Ruin it, but I'm gonna force his hand. I think. Does he have to pay the ward? Thank God. Diamond tier 4. The forever diamond tier 4. I've been stuck on this tier for just too long this month. I have a bad feeling we're not going to make it into Mythic. I need to, just haven't had the time. The traveling schedule has been very, very busy. My wife just wants to do stuff all day. We're going to museums and visiting things and missions, all kinds of missions. I haven't had the time to just sit there and grind Mythic. I'll probably have to just use mono white. Aha. Esper or Azorius matchup? Could be. He's got the Imrith sleeves. Might be the mirror match. That'll be interesting. Did you guys hear that thunder? Yeah, I haven't heard from Edwin today either, Billy, but I did leave him a happy birthday note. Thanks for for letting me know. I hope he's having a sweet ass day and that his family's spoiling the crap out of him. He deserves it. Field. Everyone's running them now. It's good. I don't like the man-land meta. Mordenkainen next turn? Seems pretty legit. I can't tell what country these characters are from. Could be Thailand, could be Vietnam or something. It's not China, it's not Japan. That's for sure. And those guys, it's like early morning on that side of the planet now. The only problem with this new Teferi is that it gets hit by the Skyclave Shade. Apparition. Ooh, Tyrite Sanctum. Interesting. I have this idea. Because Teferi, you can untap your own artifacts. If you play it in an artifact deck, wait. Is that a counter spell though? It very well could be. Oh, it's worth a try. That little bit of life gain from Teferi is great. Yeah, it looks like a counter spell. He's thinking about it. Devious cover-up of all things. Exiles the Mordenkainen. Probably Alrund's Epiphany. He's 1 mana away from the Alrunds. He might want to go for my Hall of the Storm Giants now. I really wouldn't like that. Unfortunately, you can't Field of Ruin another Field of Ruin. Well, let's go for a white source. No, blue source. Ooh.
Some think time only flows in one direction.
Can -7 next turn. This is really, really sweet. And tapping the blue land always kind of makes them think you might have a counter spell. It's probably why it's taking so long. Port is just so good. Alright, unfortunately that's Teferi, bye bye. Well, he might go for the stadium. Teferi or stadium? That is the question. It's the stadium. Cheeky. Okay, let's -7.
Only time will tell. Playing around. I'm finishing this.
Saw it coming. Sensing a plot, Soren raced to his grandfather's resting crypt, but someone else had put him there first. Now we can do a 7-mana deluge, which is just great. I'm certain he's digging for an Alrund. He's just not getting that last land, which makes me oh so happy. Oh crap, we've gone well over the 1 hour mark. I'm going into Hello Good Games time slot. I need to end this one. Control matches always take a little longer. Blue source. Any day now, mate. Nice, very nice. Let's see you casting that Alrund. Not yet. What is this guy doing? Opponent. Thank you. So good that they untap the stadiums untap on his upkeep as well because of the emblem. So good. What is all of this? Doomskars, Alrunds, could be, you know. Counter war. Another negate? You've got to be shitting me. Huh. Nice. And that's game. I do believe that that's game. did it! We did it! Yes! We did it! Man, that was sick! Okay, I'm happy. We got the Strixhaven Stadium thing to go off. That's the first time I've won with that ever in my life. So I'm really, really happy. Thanks, guys, for watching so much. And, yeah, I'm going to call it a night. We've gone well over the 1 hour mark. I'm going into Hello Good Games stream schedule. I want to jump onto that stream, so I'll probably see you both there. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at more control lists. I think this one's really, really good. I think we could probably just completely omit, I don't know, I think actually the split is pretty good. 2 Skyclave, what are they called? Ooh. 2 of the Skyclave thingies. Skyclave Relics and 2 stadiums, I think, is the way to go about it. Yeah, I think as far as this build goes, I don't know what I could change. It feels pretty good when you start to gain control over the battlefield and you've got the Teferi emblem. Things just start going your way. I've seen a version that Malone plays that is running this card, the Liar, which means you basically shouldn't be running any counter spells. If you guys don't know what that card does yet, basically spells can't be countered, and each instant and sorcery in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. So good. Malone played like an Azorius control deck with no counter spells, and he was just playing Liar in place of the Imrith, and did some pretty crazy stuff on his video. But I've decided to put Liar in a Is It Spells deck, which we'll be looking at probably tomorrow. I'm calling it Astral Scholar. Those of you who had quick eyes might have caught a glimpse of what's to come. I'm still working on it, but probably looking at Prismari control tomorrow. And then we've got this Golgari control to look into, and Dimir. There's a couple of control decks that I want to play over the next couple of days, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But once again, thanks so much for watching. Those of you who stick around to the end, you are my favorite people in the whole wide world. And this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.